Procrastination. We all hate it, especially if you have ADHD. It's more than just a buzzword. It's the thing standing between you and all the things you know you really want and you want to accomplish. How many times have you been told that your procrastination is just a sign of weak willpower or poor motivation? Like most of our struggles, waiting until the last minute to get started on a task gets categorized as a personality deficit, which means there's no significant concerted effort to help us figure out how to get a handle on it. The reality is, we have excellent personalities, and procrastination is the shadow side of a collection of powerful attributes that make us great at everything we do. We still have to overcome the propensity to wait until the last minute, and in this video, I'm going to give you a few strategies to help you do just that. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel where we turn ADHD into your entrepreneurial edge. I'm Mina Raver, and today we're going to talk about something that every entrepreneur with ADHD faces pretty regularly: procrastination. I want you to throw out everything you've heard, everything you've been taught about what procrastination is and why you do it. Because what might look like procrastination on the surface is actually something much deeper, something that has more to do with the way your brain is wired and how your brain stores up enough chemical impulse to move your body. First of all, it has nothing to do with your level of motivation. Most people think of procrastination as the act of delaying or postponing something that needs to be done, but that suggests effort afforded on your part keeping you from doing the task. ADHD last-minute impulse isn't about being lazy or not caring or anything like that. This is about task initiation. Task initiation is the ability to start a task when you need to without unnecessary delay. It's a key part of executive function, which is the set of mental skills that helps us plan, focus our attention, remember instructions, and juggle multiple tasks successfully. That means that your brain might recognize that a task is important, but actually initiating that task, moving the idea out of your head and into your body, can feel like an insurmountable obstacle. Your brain struggles to activate specific processes needed to get moving and on that task. Think of it like a car engine that just won't start, no matter how many times you turn the key. The car isn't a loss. It's just the alternator or spark plug or something. I don't actually know much about cars. Anyway, that's exactly what task initiation feels like for someone with ADHD. Okay, but what can you do to break the cycle? I'm going to share 3 game-changing strategies that I've used personally and with my clients to kickstart your tasks and conquer procrastination for good. Let me caveat here and preface this with a simple but profound and important truth. Nothing takes the place of rest. All these other strategies are secondary to rest. So before you try anything else, make sure that you're not exhausted. Okay, now, the first strategy is to break down tasks into micro tasks. One of the reasons task initiation is so difficult for people with ADHD is often because the task at hand feels too big or too vague. It's like trying to climb a mountain without any clear path. But if you break down that mountain into smaller, more manageable steps, it becomes a lot less intimidating. Let's just say you need to write a report. Instead of thinking about the entire report as one task, break it down into micro tasks. Outline the introduction, research one specific section, write the first paragraph, and so on. Each of these micro tasks should be small enough that they feel easy to start. Each one should be something that you can do in just a few minutes. By breaking down a big task into these smaller steps, you're giving your brain clear, actionable items that can feel more achievable. This not only makes it easier to start, but it also gives you a sense of accomplishment as you check off each micro task, which helps build momentum. Now, the second strategy is something I like to call the big build. It works like this. You may have noticed that most of the time, when you can't start a task, you don't just sit there and wait for your body to move. You get up and move around, you do other things, and before you know it, your house is spotless, but you only have 10 minutes to get your task completed. Did you know that you could do that on purpose? You could use your procrastination projects to build momentum toward achieving your goal. Procrastination projects are what I like to call those tasks your body kind of moves into with or without you actually driving the movement. It's what you do when you're trying to get started on something specific. It's like some other part of your body knows you want to move it, so it just does whatever it's used to. Think about what those things are and how completing them makes you feel. Think about where the drive to complete those tasks shows up in your body, what you're thinking about when you do them, and then you can start building a 1, 2, 3 go checklist or a set of tasks you can complete to prep you for a bigger one. This technique works because it leverages the momentum that comes from starting and completing other things. Once you're in motion, it's much easier to stay in motion, especially if the tasks are related to or similar to the one that you want to complete. Okay, the third strategy is to use external cues and levers to help initiate tasks. People with ADHD often respond well to external structure, so setting up cues in your environment can help prompt you to start a task when you need to. For example, if you need to start working on a specific task at a certain time, set not one, but a series of reminders on your phone, or put a sticky note in a place where you'll see it. You can also create a specific routine that signals to your brain that it's time to start a task, or that it will be soon. For instance, if you always start your workday with a cup of coffee, make it a habit to sit down and start your first task as soon as you finish your cup. The external triggers build up and help create a sense of structure and routine that can make it easier for your brain to shift into task initiation mode without having to rely on actual routines. The key is to find cues that work for you and make them a consistent part of your day. Okay, got all that? Let's cover it again. Procrastination is not a character flaw, and it definitely is not about laziness or weak willpower, especially if you have ADHD. It's about understanding how your brain works with task initiation, a specific aspect of executive function that can make it really difficult to get started on tasks, even when you want to and you know they're important. But the good news is there are strategies you can use to overcome this challenge, whether it's breaking up tasks into smaller micro tasks to make them conceptually manageable, whether it's using the big build to lower the barrier to entry to actual motion, or setting up external prompts and triggers. There are plenty of ways to kickstart your productivity and break free from the cycle of procrastination. Remember, the goal isn't to force yourself into a system that wasn't designed for you. It's to find what works with your unique brain and build a system around that. When you understand the root of your challenges and apply the right strategies, you can overcome procrastination and start getting things done with less stress and more satisfaction. Now, if you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to help others find it too. You can also click the little bell to get notifications when I post new content, which is weekly, and when I take questions or provide coaching live. And if you're ready to go deeper into how to leverage your ADHD for entrepreneurial success, be sure to check out the resources I've linked in the description below. I'm Mina. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next week. Thanks for joining us on Productive with ADHD. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss another episode. And please click that thumbs up button below. We'd really appreciate it. And if you're ready to take your productivity to the next level with tools designed just for you, a high-achieving professional with ADHD, then download the Better CEO app available on both Apple and Android. You'll find those links at betterceo.app and in the show notes. See you next time with more insights and strategies to help you make ADHD your unfair advantage.